I looked in my bag and I said, Toastmasters, where leaders are made. A lot of Toastmasters merchandise says that on there. And for the longest time, that bothered me. As a matter of fact, Mr. Foster and I have gotten into disagreements about what Toastmasters is over the last few years, because I keep saying it's about doing better presentations and doing better speeches. And he's going, no, he maintains it builds leaders. So it was either I drank the Kool-Aid, or when I fell down the other day, I hit my head. But it's been seeping into my brain for the last year or so, the pervasive thought, there are a lot of speakers out there. I'm a YouTube junkie. There's 31 million unique YouTube channels. All active Toastmasters can come up with an interesting speech. It looks like more and more of the airwaves are being filled with voices. Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and live feed and all these other things. Everything on social media, the voices are speechifying and promoting. But you know what we don't have? We don't have a bunch of true leaders stepping up. A bunch of true leaders. We got a lot of people that like to talk. Oh, they talk forever. Which brings me to you, my Toastmasters, you dear audience. You have stepped away or been promoted in your club to be an officer, a leader. And there's a huge difference between being a leader in a volunteer organization and being a leader in work. So I looked at this phrase, where leaders are made. Now, made is the past tense of make. And make says prepared to cause, to exist, to happen, to bring about, create. So it seems to me like, well, my goodness, all the ingredients are there. We all have these ingredients. They're all there. So in my haste to put together this speech, I looked at so many lists. There's thousands of lists. What is a good speaker or leader? What is a good leader? Oh, everybody's got an opinion. I happened upon one I liked, and I can't remember where I got it, but it says, a great leader possesses a clear vision, is courageous, has integrity, he has honesty, humility, and clear focus. Continuing, he helps people reach their goals, and he's not afraid to hire people that might be better than him. He takes pride in their accomplishments. Well, that's pretty textbook. So I looked on my favorite source of information, YouTube, and I was looking at one of my favorite people, Wayne Dyer, and I've kind of hybrid one of his speeches into what I consider to be a good leader. One of the first things he says is that when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. That phrase that I heard, I've actually heard that 3 or 4 years ago when I started studying the Tao. And it made my brain spin. And then I started reading about quantum physics, and they say that this is what baffled Einstein. They have actually found that by paying attention to photons, it changes what they do. So how can we distill that down to the club level? I think we could bring it down to say, change instead of saying we can't, which is a closed-end statement, to saying, how can we? You'll find in life that a lot of answers will come to you when you stop closing it by saying we can't, to opening it up to saying, how can we? The next thing that I consider in a good leader And also, it's been in a lot of my studies. And I love the way Wayne Dyer presents it. He goes, there are no justified resentments. There is nothing that anybody can do that is justified for you to resent. In the Course in Miracles, they say, carrying resentment will always harm you. I want you to think about this. A snake bite doesn't kill you. You're going to go, oh no, Bert. Yes, it does. No, the bite doesn't kill you. It's the venom that goes through your body that poisons you. All these resentments that you carry will poison you. Another thing that I think a good leader has, and Bruce Lee gets into this also in his teaching, and I'm not advocating any of his teachings, but have a mind open to everything, but attached to nothing. When you close your mind to possibilities, you close your mind to genius ideas. You close your mind to mediocre ideas. But when you attach yourself to something so strongly that you think that is the only thing there is, everything you look for from that point on will be directed at that. You have to open up your mind. You might have to say, what an interesting concept. I've never considered that. Or why do you believe that? But that entails you doing what Nelson Mandela was taught one time. Somebody asked Nelson Mandela, how did you become a great leader? And he goes, it was kind of by accident. My father was the chief, so he listened to everybody around the tribe before he spoke. Whew, what a mind blower. Mine isn't the only voice that's important. When you can open up your mind to the other possibilities, the infinite possibilities will come to you. So have an open mind to everything, attached to nothing. This one is so relevant. Take responsibility for your actions. I've read a lot about the history of World War II and how on D-Day, the day before, on June 5th, Eisenhower was sitting there and he wrote 2 letters. One letter said, we have achieved through our combined efforts an astounding start at a victory. And the other letter that is in his museum and it's handwritten, and it says, we have failed. All of our attempts have failed. I have called the troops back. It is my responsibility. I take full credit for it. Is it any wonder that people followed him from all different countries? He took responsibility for his actions. Those of you that know me may have heard this a lot too, because I say, when are you going to sing your song? There's a line in a Cream song called Badge. It said, you better bring yourself up off the ground before they bring the curtain down. Don't die without singing your song. You were brought here for a purpose. You came here for a purpose. Make it count. Don't hold back. And an extra rule for all you Toastmasters out there is you're never alone. There is such a wealth of information here to help you. There are so many people that know so much more than you that the combined wisdom would startle you. But then again, you would have to admit that you don't know everything, and you have to keep your mind open. So today I would ask for you to keep your mind open during these trainings. I know some of you, oh, I go to these twice a year and it's been 8 years and it's 1,600. Something that I've learned, that I've taken with me, and you may take this with you too. Every single meeting has a learning experience attached to it. It's what you assign to it. If you assign to a meeting dressed like you've just done the gardening and you're in your t-shirt and jeans, that's what you have assigned to that meeting. Every single meeting you go to, you can get something from it. You may not agree with everything, but there's gems everywhere. So I'd ask fellow Toastmasters that today you open up your mind, you think about some of the things I said, and have a great rest of the year. Thank you.